Hi guys, welcome to another All Things Tennis video. Today we're going to be talking about the best selling rackets of 2021. Stay tuned for more. Okay, you may have seen me at the start of the video holding up this beauty. It is the best selling racket I think for the last 10 years. It's a Babolat Pure Drive. Why does it sell so well? Well, it's designed for pretty much every player. It's weird to say that for a racket that it's designed for every player, but it really is. Advanced level players play with it and they can still find enough control with it, and they have the easy power to put away. Intermediate to beginners find it easy to pick up and play with, so it gives you lots and lots of power. You don't have to necessarily swing 100 miles an hour through the ball. It gives you a lot of power thanks to its thicker beam and the way Babolat's designed the woofer system, the slightly thicker beam, the higher stiffness of the Babolat range. That you can't really say anything wrong about a Pure Drive. I mean, the only criticism you might give is that it's because it's so easy to play with, so powerful. The super top level player might be wanting a bit more dialed in control. Maybe the weight at 300 grams, maybe they want a little bit more weight, but Babolat, of course, they thought about that, and you can buy the Pure Drive tool. There's also an option to buy a Pure Drive Plus, which is an extended length of a 300 gram model, and they go down to the Team, which is 285 grams, the Light 270, and the Super Light at 255 grams. So it's a best-selling racket, I think, in the whole market for the last 10 years, and it's not a surprise that it makes our #1 best-selling racket of 2021. Okay, so a bit of a change-up. This isn't like a Pure Drive. This is the best racket for a transition racket or a beginner. It's a Head Extreme Team. It's priced at $89.99, which is a really good price for 100% full graphite and also the graphene technology in the frame. It's very light, so it's 255 grams. So if you're a competitive player playing a couple of times a week, you're going to find this a bit unstable, a bit too light. However, if you're a person that's new to the game and wants a nice, easy to maneuver racket, or you're a teenager or you're buying for your kid that's just turning into a first full-size adult racket, maybe about 12, 13, maybe 11, then this is a really good racket. Because it's so light and maneuverable, it's very easy for kids or teenagers to use, and also for beginners, it's very easy to play with. You might be late on your shots, you might need the racket to come through very quickly in order to get the racket in the right position in time. This is a great racket. The Head Extreme Team looks exactly like the more expensive Head Extreme models, so your Head Extreme Pro, MP, Tour, etc. at a really nice price point, $89.99, our second best selling racket of 2021. Okay, so Babolat Pure Strike. Now, the Pure Strike for me is a really interesting racket, as in when it first came out, you don't know if you remember like the red and black ones they used to do, I thought it was a bit of a meh racket. Wasn't that impressed with it, okay? Now these latest generations, they've really figured it out. They're super crisp, that Babolat, really nice crisp feeling racket. It's still powerful, but it's definitely Babolat's best control orientated racket. Slightly thinner beam, more traditional kind of box beam frame. It's a really, really nice racket. The 1619 is the best Pure Strike in my opinion, and it also translates to the best selling Pure Strike. It outsells the 1820, the Tour, the Team. This one comes in at 305 grams, so it's still a player's weight, and the 69 pattern is what sets it apart from the Pure Strike 1820. Powerful, crisp on ground strokes, does everything really nicely. Not as much spin as a Babolat Rafa, or an Aero, what should I say. Maybe not as much spin as a Yonex V-Core at the same weight, but it does everything really nicely, and it's just a lovely racket to play with. Okay, this is the Speed Pro, so Head Graphene 360 Speed Pro. This is the Novak edition, the limited edition colour scheme. Little fact for you, why have they brought out two head speeds, so the Pro and the MP? Apparently it's because they released the white and black one, and Novak decided he played really well in a tournament with it all blacked out, black and gold frame, and he decided he's quite superstitious, so only wanted to play with a black racket. So there you go. Novak said, and that is what happened. He got given a black racket, so they brought out the Novak edition. It's exactly the same racket as the white and black head speed. It's not a different frame, there's no different technology, it's literally just a different colour scheme. But this is the best selling head speed for us, the all black version. I quite like it, nice sleek look. You've got the two-tone, you've got the little bit of matte mixed with a little bit of gloss as well in the paint. The Pro model is probably our best selling speed because it's that weight of 310, 1820 string pattern, so lots of control, and it's the one Novak Djokovic endorses. So when I say endorses, he might not use it true to spec. Some people think he uses a 95-inch frame, 16-18. This is a racket he endorses as Speed Pro. We liked it in demoing. We found it nice and controlled. At 310, it's not the heaviest racket in the world, but it's super stable, this racket. I think the graphene in the frame helps at that 3 and 9 o'clock. It'll be interesting to see if the Speed then gets the auxetic technology, maybe in next year, what that kind of translates to. But a really great selling racket for us. Helped by this man, world #1, sleek black design, can't go wrong with the Head Speed Pro. The MP as well is sold very well, so that's the 300-gram model of this racket, and it's slightly more open, 1619 pattern. This is our best selling racket in terms of intermediate to beginner price point racket. So it's a price point racket in the fact that it's under £100, well under £100. It's under £70 at the moment with us. It's full graphite, it's Babolat, it's got the colour scheme lots of people like. I actually really like this colour scheme. I think it's quite a cool looking racket, and maybe could incorporate this kind of look into their more premium high-end rackets. But yeah, really solid racket. It's quite light, 265 grams, so it's not going to suit someone that's a big beefy male, but it's a racket for people that want to pick up a new racket, don't want that Sports Direct cheap. It may be their first real proper racket that's 100% graphite. Sells really well for us, I think, really on the price point, and it's a cool looking racket. It's a Babolat. Not got all the bells and whistles, but it does have the woofer system, which Babolat does really well, and it's 100% full graphite, so a really nice racket. Okay, now this, I think if it came out at the start of 2021, would be our best selling racket. It's the Pure Aero Rafa. So again, when I talked about Head Speed Pro, the black and the white and black versions, this is the same racket as the yellow and black Aero. Okay, it's a limited edition Rafa colour scheme. It is slightly more expensive, but it is the same frame. Okay, it's not a different weight, not a different technology in the frame. It incorporates the shaft of the Aero, which helps spin. Look, if you're after power and spin, this racket is so addictively fun to use. I love picking it up and just trying to rip balls with as much spin as I can from the baseline. Our friend Aaron behind the camera has talked about the Aero VS and talked about how he found he was just trying to put as much spin as possible. This gives more power and spin than the Aero VS in my view, but you might find that's all you want to do. You want to just hit with top spin all the time. If that's your style, give it a go. They're power and spin friendly, and the reason they're so popular and one of our best selling rackets is they're easy to use, they're powerful, and probably the most spin friendly racket on the market. Okay, so thanks for watching me talk you through the best selling rackets we have for 2021. Be interesting to hear, other regions, different countries in terms of their best selling rackets, but I think the ones we've mentioned here should be the best selling rackets across the world. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. If you liked the video, please give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe. It really helps us bring you more videos to the channel. Thanks for watching.